Welcome back. In the previous section, we have signed up for QuickBooks Online and we have done some initial setup. Finally, we customized our chart of accounts to the extent we needed, and whenever we need a new account in the future, we will come back here and add that account. For now, we are ready to start using QuickBooks Online for our business. So first of all, let us navigate back to home and let us start from there. Now the first transaction that we are going to record in this business is the owner has invested £10,000 into the business. So basically owner has brought in £10,000 and he has put it in the business for business use. How do we record that? So we have learned that the transactions can be added into QuickBooks using this button here, and when we click on this, you can see this first column is customer related, second column is supplier related, and third column is team related. In this case, I am saying that the owner of the business has deposited funds in business. Now owner cannot be customer or supplier or team, so we have to find our option here. Here you can see we have this option of bank deposit. Now even if I am saying that customer has basically input cash into the business, we will still be using this option here, the bank deposit option here, because for the transaction purposes, the bank and cash is treated in the same way in QuickBooks. So I will click on the bank deposit option here and this screen will show up. Now first of all, you can see that it is asking me that in which bank account the deposit has been made, and we can see all of the accounts here. Of course, you may be expecting that we would only be seeing the bank related accounts here, but there are some other accounts that can be used in exceptional circumstances. We will talk about them later on. So for now, in my case, I would say it is cash in hand, and then very important, we have to choose the correct date. In my case, I will be using the 1st of January here. That is the first day of the business. And then these are the tags. We will talk about them in detail later on. For now, let's skip this part. Then next we have to add whom we have received the money from. If I click here and click on this drop down, you can see that right now no names are appearing. This is because we haven't added any contact in QuickBooks until now. But don't worry, we can do so by clicking here. So I will click on add new here and this pane will open. Now the first thing that we have to do is to choose a contact type, and when you click here you will see that there are only 3 types: customer, supplier and employee. In this case it is business owner, so none of this fits it actually, but anyways I'm going to use employee because we have to select something, it is mandatory, and I just don't want to spoil my customer and supplier report, so I will stick to employee here. Now let us fill in the information. The first name is going to be Anna, she's the business owner, and the last name, I'm not going to add a last name, I will just type in business owner to remember that this is the business owner's account and not an employee. That is your choice, you can choose not to do that, and you can add this additional information if you like to, but that is not mandatory, you can skip that. So I will just click and save. And now let's choose this contact from here, that is Anna, the business owner. Now the next field that we have to enter here is account. Now you must be thinking that you have already added an account here, then why we have to add another account? So we have to remember that in accounting each transaction has a dual entry. 2 accounts are always hit in a transaction. This is how the accounting has been designed. Now we know that in this transaction cash in hand has been put into the business, but from where? Who has given us that cash? Now you must be thinking we have already told system that the owner has given the cash, but we have to remember one thing. Accounting works on accounts only. All the additional fields that you may enter, for example, you have owner's name here, that can be customer's or supplier's name, there can be tags, there can be some other information like this one here, payment method, and then description and then reference. All of this information is additional information That will provide you some very good information for filtering down your reports. But the fundamental accounting works on the account, and for each transaction there will be two accounts. Now let's get back to our transaction. In this case, we have received the cash in business from the owner. Now how would the owner's account will be reflected here? It depends that how your business is registered. In case of sole proprietorship, it is different. In case of partnership, it is different. In case of limited company, it is different. In case of sole proprietorship, it is called owner's capital account. In case of partnership, it is called partner's capital account, or you can also replace the word partner with the partner name. For example, Adam's capital account. And then in case of company, there are two accounts. One is called share capital and the other is called share premium. Now in my case here, I have registered my QuickBooks account. I mentioned that I'm a limited company, so I will be having those options. So I will just search for share and I should be able to filter down my accounts here: ordinary share capital and then share premium. Now what is the difference between these two? If you are accountant, you already know that, but if you are not an accountant, please don't worry about it. Just use the ordinary share capital account and then your accountant can handle that in the year-end review. So I will use the ordinary share capital account here. Description, that can be anything, that is just for your own reminder purpose. So I will say it is first deposit by the owner, and then payment method. Now again, you can choose the correct payment method, but please keep in mind this is again a non-accounting field. The fundamental accounting reports do not get affected by this payment method field or the tax field or the received from field. Only the accounts are important for the main accounting. For all other fields, you can consider that your accounting system will also be serving you as a management information system, where you will be getting all the information. So although that information will be affected by these accounts, but main accounting only depends on the accounts here. And then there can be a reference number, that is again a memo field for your own reference. The amount in this case is going to be £10,000. VAT is not relevant here. We will discuss it separately in a separate section. And let's complete this transaction now. Now let's see what are our options here. This is save and new, and then we have save and close. So I just don't want to add another transaction right now, so I will say let's make it save and close, and this transaction will be saved in our account. And now that we have recorded our first transaction, the next task would be, first of all, how to find that transaction, and then after finding that, how to make any changes, how to edit that, and if needed, how to delete that, and then also how to see the impact of that transaction. So we will be finding relevant reports where we will be seeing the impact of that transaction on our reports. Let's do all of that in the next lecture.